Hello, Detective Banks. I want to play a game.
You should probably run. Hell no. Do you believe in ghosts?
Hello everyone, Joshua Myers here, and welcome back to what I would like to call Leprechaun Month. We're currently in day 2 of this franchise review series I'm doing. Which, like I mentioned before, it's basically me reviewing all of the Warwick Davis horror movie Leprechaun films. From the first one to Leprechaun Returns from 2018. So now we're on the second one now, which I've seen this one before. The only ones I've seen up to this point were the first 2. So, before I did this review series, and so let's just get on to my review of Leprechaun 2 from 1994.
True love can be hard to find. For him, it took 1,000 years.
God bless you.
And now that he's finally found her, he's going to love her
I'm back.
to death.
Leprechaun 2.
Kiss me. I'm Irish.
Rated R. Starts Friday, April 8th.
Leprechaun 2 stars Warwick Davis, Charlie Heath, Giovanni Dugan, Sandy Barron, Clint Howard, and it's directed by Rodman Flender. The plot of Leprechaun 2 is that the evil little Irishman returns to wreak havoc in his never-ending quest to basically find himself a bride. Again, this seems like to be the positive for every film in this series so far. I've only seen the first 2, so I guess we'll just see how the third one does for me. And that's Warwick Davis as, the Leprechaun. And he's a lot of fun in this. You can tell he's having a lot of fun. Can't really say that for the upper actors, but we'll get to that a bit. Actually, the practical effects in this movie aren't really not that bad. I actually do enjoy some of the practical effects in this film, actually, even more than the first film. Actually, the set design of this film is really good too, actually. And the design of the Leprechaun's home, actually, which you do get to see, is actually really cool. It's a really cool set, actually. I also did actually like Sandy Barron's character as Morty. Kind of drunk of the film. He was at least a likable drunk. There was just something about his performance and everything that just came off as, he was a douche, but at least he was a likable douche. His performance is fun too. He's honestly, outside of Warwick Davis, is probably the best character in the movie. Another thing too about this film is that the pacing of this film is actually really good. Also, another positive I have with this film is that this film really is seeming like it's taking the franchise to where it starts being more of a fun series. It doesn't try to take itself seriously, like the first one seemingly was doing. Which I recently found out with the first movie, and I found this off of James over at the channel Dead Meat for his kill count video of the original Leprechaun, and the first film was originally meant to be a PG-13 comedy. At some point they wanted to decide it to turn into an R-rated horror film, and for me that kind of made the first film made too much sense, because again, there was a lot of moments in that film where it didn't felt like it was a horror film, and then they tried to shove in the horror aspect. And you're starting to see with this franchise, as the films go on, they're trying to move away from the horror aspect and really just embrace the initial concept of it being a flat-out comedy. That I did appreciate that with this film. While I do think the production design is pretty good in this film for the most part, there are quite a few moments where you can tell if it's cheapness. It kind of shows the film's cheapness a bit, but it's not bad. I've seen a lot worse production design, especially for a movie of this caliber, which is not great caliber or anything. Also, the music in this film is definitely not as good as music from the first movie. It's not awful. It's, you know, it's just, eh. Also, I found the main lead, Charlie Heath's character Cody, to be okay. You know, he really wasn't all that interesting in that, but I do prefer him over another character in this movie, which we'll get to that in my negatives. But he's definitely not, like, complex or anything like that, and his acting is it's definitely flat, but I don't know. Didn't really find anything awful with the character, so that's a plus, I guess. Cody's love interest, Bridget, portrayed by Shivani Dukan. And first of all, one of the issues I have is that they have no chemistry with each other whatsoever throughout the film. Plus, honestly, I think she even has worse acting than Charlie Heath, actually, in this film. And knowing that, the character is just, I'll be honest, the character of Bridget is just a bitch. You know, like, for example, here's the thing, like, Cody in this film works with Morty and does this kind of, like, Hollywood tour stuff, the dark side of Hollywood tour. And it's a really cheap tour and everything, but it gets them paid and everything. And they were about to go on date night, and because of the fact that something happened, like Morty being drunk off his ass and everything, and it's like, you know, just stuff happens, and he had to do the show for Morty. He also brought Bridget along, but Bridget throughout the majority of the film was just really a bitch, you know, like, again, like she just seems pissed off at him which here's the thing, I get it, it sucks, you know, you were meant to go out on a date night, fair enough, you know, I can see how somebody could get a bit mad or frustrated with that, but she ends up trying to sabotage the tour to make him look bad. Eventually, she ends up trying to hit on another guy, you know, and basically go on a quote-unquote date with that guy, so practically cheats on Cody. She definitely, in a sense, confirms to the other guys she cheated on that she really only just went out with him just to piss off Cody. Like, seriously, this character is so unlikable. I found no redeeming qualities with this character, and honestly, I was like, because his Leprechaun wanted her as his bride in that, but honestly for me, I was like, because even the Leprechaun is more likable than this bitch, and honestly, I was like, it is for both Cody and the Leprechaun in this. I'm like, you guys can find somebody better than this bitch, you know, like, seriously, it's not worth it. So yeah, like, I really did not like this character. Honestly, I think Bridget is a worse final girl than Jennifer Aniston's Tori. And I think definitely Bridget is definitely going to be up there with worst final girls in quote-unquote horror series. At least in my list, you know, I would definitely put her on my list. Alongside Jennifer Aniston's character in the first film. So with that said, I'm going to give Leprechaun 2 a 2.5 out of 5 stars. This is still like a guilty pleasure movie. You know, I still rather enjoy it. The only part I really did not enjoy was the main character's romantic interest with Bridget. I did not like her character whatsoever. So far, I think by far the worst character in this franchise so far. But I mean, it's still a guilty pleasure film. I get somewhat of enjoyment out of it, especially from Warwick Davis' Leprechaun and also Sandy Barron's character as Morty. He's a lot of fun in this movie too. So that's it for this review. Thank you guys for watching. I want me food.